Hello, I am Dawn Grace Jones, registered nurse and attorney here in South Florida. So I'm talking to you today about careers in health law. So you're talking about a person that has a healthcare background or is seeking one, but who may already be a lawyer, or a person who is a healthcare professional seeking to be an attorney at some point, or a person who already has both, right? So, what are some careers that you can consider in health law that you can look up right now? And if you're interested, start to go that way. No one spoke with me about health law when I came out of law school back in the early 90s. No one said anything about it because I don't know it to be a area of law that was well defined. But there were areas like medical malpractice and personal injury where you could well use your healthcare background to really help in those areas. Also, there's always been things in insurance that you could do that are very helpful because of your healthcare background. In fact, when I became an assistant city attorney, it was because I was a nurse and an attorney that I was asked to come. There were many medical records that needed to be looked at, and there were doctors' depositions that needed to be taken, and more things in discovery on these cases that needed to be in place to determine whether or not the value was there. It was worth settling. Was there a real injury? And if there was, what was the value of that injury? So my healthcare background is something that really came into play with doing doctor's depositions and reading those records and understanding what questions to ask. So I was in that place. I was in a good place because of my background. So there are many other areas now that weren't in place before. So now they have an area called health law. And so in those firms or in that area, they do all sorts of things in hospitals or for hospitals. They also do the acquisitions and mergers. So you're talking about doctors getting space in a building, making sure everything's in place. So you're talking about contracts and real estate and all of those areas that have their own specialties coming together. But because you understand healthcare as an attorney, there's so much more you can do within those areas. You can look up health law. You can look up medical malpractice. You can look up personal injury. You can look up insurance defense or going after suing insurance companies, plaintiffs' work. You can look at these things. You can look at being an in-house attorney at a hospital. You can look at, right now, you can look up these areas, claims attorneys. Claims, a person is going to sue the hospital or doctor, so you're talking about a claim against, and you're that attorney to try to mitigate those damages or see if there are damages or defend, or maybe you're on the other side and you have an injured client. So all of those areas you can look into, and you can be creative with it. Because remember, there are attorneys who don't have healthcare backgrounds who are doing fine in many areas of health law. But you add so much more to it when you have a healthcare background. So you understand so much. You're so valuable, and you need to understand that. People think when they get into law that they have to go into criminal law, which is a great area of law. Oh my goodness, it takes a special person to handle those cases. But you don't have to go into criminal law, because there are plenty of people who don't like criminal law and will turn from law, even though they've considered law, because they thought they had to be a criminal attorney to be an attorney. No, you don't. There are all sorts of areas of law, but I just want to talk to you about health law. And I want you to understand you can be creative in health law. And you can work at a hospital they have legal risk. You can be an attorney working as a risk manager, but you can take it to another level because of your expertise as an attorney. So you can help the hospital or healthcare facility on another level. Contracts, as it relates to doctors and hospitals, have clauses in them that, as a healthcare background person, you understand how they work, how those clauses really will pan out for that healthcare provider or facility. So you have such a specialty that you need to consider in health law, that you can look up these things right now and you could see what's available. What did she say? She mentioned health law as a specialty, and there is a specialty called health law. So if you look it up, you're going to see all these different things you can do. Medical malpractice, yes, using your healthcare background and your legal degree, you can work in that area well. Personal injury, car accidents, slip and falls, all of those things. And when you talk about, if you're on the plaintiff side, settling for your client, that it helps you because you understand the injury. You understand how to describe and what to state. You understand how to take depositions in your litigation, in your discovery, leading your way to that trial. You know how to ask, what to ask. You understand value. You understand so much that you don't even know you understand. When you talk about defending, you can defend from a place of, I understand, doctor, what you're saying and what you did or didn't do. I understand, nurse, what you're saying and what you did and didn't do, or what you should have done. I understand, facility, what should be done. I understand on every level how things work. I understand those things. So this is what you'd say, and these are the things you can help with. So do you have to totally walk away from healthcare as a healthcare attorney if you have a healthcare background? No, you don't. Do you have to be a healthcare person before you start to get into those areas? No. Healthcare adds so much more to healthcare type areas. And I just wanted to take time to help you see that. My career so far has been great because of my healthcare background. It's been what I wanted to be because I don't want to deviate too far from healthcare, even though I've done some things totally not within healthcare. I'm immigration, nothing to do with healthcare. Real estate, I'm a title agent, nothing to do with healthcare. But working with immigration has helped me because I'm able to give and help, and that's my personality. I'm a nurse. Working within real estate has helped me tremendously because if I take it all back to healthcare, I understand now getting those transactions for the property for the medical facilities. I understand contracts quite well. So all of that has helped me bring it back to healthcare. So my healthcare background helps as well. So it's something you can actually pile on. Law allows you to do a lot of things with what you have. And you learn and you're creative and you learn how to explore and use all of that knowledge for the betterment of whatever system or whomever you're trying to help. So it works out well. Health law is awesome. Don't forget that. And don't forget these are some of the things you can look up right now doing in those areas, in that area. It's an awesome, awesome area of law. And I'm speaking of all areas that you can use healthcare background as well as your legal degree, your legal license. When you can use both, I'm calling that health law. And so I've mentioned some things you can look up now. Who am I? I'm Dawn Grace Jones. I'm a registered nurse and I'm an attorney. And I'm in South Florida. I work as a special magistrate, but I help doctors and nurses. I really help nurses not get sued. That's my goal. Go to my website, dawngracejones.com. check out some of the things I've done, some of the things I'm doing. I lecture. There's some awesome ebooks there for healthcare workers to help in not getting sued. Sign up for the newsletter, please, and let's stay in touch. Thank you. I've had a wonderful time speaking with you. I look forward to staying in touch with you. Please, thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.